As we go into the garage, I just want you all to know that the environment you create around yourself is also a reflection
Daddy.
of your mind.
Hey, Daddy.
Okay? And it is not morally or ethically wrong to be scatterbrained or chaotic in the way you organize your thoughts. If you're not able to change the way you think, and there's some fundamental ways that you can't, your living space might resemble something like this.
Daddy, I got one.
This is after the rescuer, Becky, came over and helped me to organize this all day yesterday. This is the organized version. So let me walk you through my mind, shall I? This dryer is fucked because I have a washer. I've been running this clothes washer. Behold the pile of clothes. Cloth.
Yeah.
This is all from the moldy house that I lived in for years before we bought this place. And I appreciate that house so much. And also it was slowly killing me. So I'm washing the mold out of everything. This is after a solid month of keeping that fucker singing. That's on the to-do list. This is probably all donation stuff. We might want to keep the PS4 just to play Blu-rays. That's still, I gotta go through that box. Just the way I am. I'm being tugged right now.
Let's go outside.
What am I supposed to do? Go outside with you?
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta finish my video, okay? We're doing a tour of the garage. This is the forbidden zone. This is where, like, this used to be inaccessible. There's walkways now. It's so beautiful. This is my brain. I am finally not ashamed of my mind, okay? You don't ever have to be ashamed of the way your mind works. Now, what you focus on and what you put into your mind and what comes out of you, those are things you can take ownership of. But just the way things are organized inside your brain, that's mostly down to, because it's just the way you are. You can't change that, and you can't blame somebody for being what their genes determine them to be. What do we got here? So we have the Hope bicycle. This is the bicycle that keeps the dream alive for my wife, that she's gonna bike again one day. And I find that really, really cute because she's far too busy to bike right now. But one day, and I didn't even have a driver's license until I was 24 because I just rode a bike everywhere I needed to go, or I would get a lift from somebody. So I didn't have the money. During that time, I was very, very, very close to being homeless, and I would have been homeless if my friends hadn't been there for me. So owning a vehicle was not important as much as just getting to work and paying for a place to live when I could pay for a place to live. And when I couldn't anymore, my friend was there for me. This chainsaw is proof my mom is a cunt, and I'm just going to move on without explaining that. I wanted to bookend, right? Talking about my friends that kept me from being homeless, with my mom who always puts herself before everyone else and then just pretends to care because she's expected to, but she doesn't. There's people like that. That's the only reason I mentioned that. Maybe you have somebody in your life that is selfish and pretends to not be selfish when it's convenient for them, but you trace those lines back to their stomach, and they have the eyes of a pig trying to convert everything into food, into them feeling good about something. Maybe you have somebody like that, and I want you to know that it's okay for you to be a mess, And it's right for that to really, really, really deeply hurt you, because that's what a wonderful and lovely person you are. That it hurts you just to acknowledge the existence of something like that. These are gardening tools, and hopefully I will never forget that I own a caulking gun, because these, the price of these goes up every year. I got this one for $3, and it's like $20 at the hardware store right now. So I can save $20 by remembering I own this the one time that I'm going to need it. And then I've got all kinds of clamps here. I got a vise. I got so many neat little handy tools that I could do neat little handy things with. Like my aluminum handled katana, which actually I can do a shitload of work with that. And I'm really good with it, and it's because I've spent a lot of time using it as a tool. There's a lot you can do with a sword in a gardening or forestry environment. Very, very useful tool, especially if you have a very sturdy handle, like this cast aluminum, because fuck yeah, why not? Really great grip on that, incredible amounts. I don't need this rabbit food because the rabbit just eats the lawn now. The rabbit is a free-range rabbit. I don't have a use for this ute right now, but you can never have too much rope, especially if she's into that. And I have a Zoe Yowie 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 Yowie, that's you. And she has not brushed her hair today, and that's fine. Hey little woman, are you going to go brush your hair? We're going to go to town at noon.
No.
Okay, don't brush your hair. You can look like a goblin today. And you're still cute. This corn I grew. Look at the size of these suckers. So I actually got that yard producing, and then I left. And this was one of my goals, and it was achieved gloriously. And this mixture of chinchilla shit and pellets in his cage is the product of the love he receives from my daughter, who just absolutely loves this little man. And we're keeping him in the garage right now during this season where we can get, we got 80 degrees weather one day. Maybe it was the high 70s Fahrenheit, which is too hot for a chinchilla. The tool shapes the work, and the work shapes the man. The tool shapes the work, and the work shapes the man. So the tools you use to do your work, your lawn work, let's say, they also shape you. If you have a tool that does the work for you, that does effort for you, then you're also missing out on some exercise, some toning, some conditioning. Never pick a fight with a carpenter. He will just grab you and put you into the shape he wants you to be. Right? So if you want to be in a certain condition, build your own environment to where you don't necessarily have to set aside time for a workout. If you can make your other work also require and maintain some conditioning. I'm a huge fan of hand tools. I know that if you have more work to do, it doesn't make sense to have a bunch of manual hand tools, but it makes a lot of sense for me because I'm not a full-timer. I'm just a very prolific hobbyist who has no time now. I did get the kids off of me though. They go to the backyard and they play. And I can hear them out there having a great time. You'd probably put as much money getting that running properly as it would cost to just buy a new one and hope that it functions coming from China. It's really only good for like one small lawn on a battery charge, or half of my lawn or less. I can mow a little bit less than half the backyard. Unless it's just a really easy mow. I could probably go a little faster, but I don't do easy mowing. I figure let the grass grow. Grass has a 6-month life cycle. So think about that. Think about what maturity your grass is when you're cutting it, and it wants to live for 6 months uninterrupted. But it'll respond, and you can get what you want out of it if you cut it earlier. But there's also some benefits to letting it grow and get a little bit taller and more established before you start to harvest off of it or cut it down. But that's just like my opinion, man. I got a video where I caught a raccoon in that trap. I'm doing a great job of describing things here, by the way. I am going to have to move this stuff off of the freezer. You really don't want to stack anything on top of a freezer like this because they're made out of very, very thin metal on the top. And they're not really meant to bear loads. Don't sit on top of these, by the way. They will bend very easily. And then they don't seal properly. But the seal on this one is fine. The small amount of weight that's on it is fine. But as a general rule, it's much better to keep these just free of stuff so that they're accessible and so that they do not receive damage, especially damage over time, because they're made out of mild steel. This is all mild steel that these are made out of, which means that you can bend this just by moving it, and it'll retain that shape. So you can see that there's actually some warbly. That's not just shadows. There are some warbly wobbles on the top of that lid, but those aren't really relevant. What is relevant is the side here where the seal is. So you can bend that as much as you feel like, and mess it up, and mess up your seal, and then your freezer doesn't function properly. Hi, little people. Are we working in the yard today?
Yeah.
Can you show me what you're working on?
Daddy.
Or playing with?
Yeah. Daddy, I need food.
Okay, we'll do lunch in a little bit. It's almost time for lunch.
Yeah, and I want to
So some of the chaos from my garage has moved out to the yard. Joshua is aware of this broken tricycle. It needs a bolt to go through this hole and made it to that. So it had a bolt in there with its nut, but those two things went missing at one point, and it just needs a replacement. This is a really neat little lightweight workbench, very sturdy for what it is, and handy, all kinds of handy, but I don't have time to use anything for that right now. This is my Brooklyn, who looks amazing right now.
Okay, so
She heard we were going to town and she dressed up like a queen.
Josh, she's not giving me the shovel.
Kill him. He won't be able to defend his property if you take his life away from him.
Daddy, can we please already have one?
What shovel is it? You know how much he loves to have... Hey, no, hey, hey. Joshua, you don't need to do that. You don't need to take that shovel away from him right now. You know how much it means to him. So there's a different shovel.
I need to make cocoa beans.
I believe you.
I need chocolate. Daddy,
Yes, Zoe.
can we already have lunch?
I'm going to go make lunch. All right, bye, everybody. Zoe, say bye.
Bye-bye.
A little louder, nice and loud.
Bye-bye.
I don't even have the guys on the
Animal Crossing.
Let's go around. We gotta go around. Hey, look.
War Thunder.
Roots. Well, look at this place. It's from the Dublin.
Goblin life.
Let's go. Let's go. No.
Look at that. See how shiny that is? It'll all be splattered with grease when the chicken nuggets are done cooking. Peace is accepting the consequences. Fighting all the time makes you weak. Yeah, it's gonna be real nice.
Then the thing came and then the.
Those are very crispy chicken
Yeah,
nuggets.
Daddy, give me some sauce right here. I want some.
Want some barbecue?
Yeah.
Take the lid off.
Okay. I want barbecue. Can you put barbecue on mine, Daddy? There you go.
Now be very careful and pour a little bit onto your plate.
Just want to pour right.
Not from the lid, little man, from the bottle.
Okay. But I can do it for me too.
Do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you how to do it? Okay. Tip it and let it run. Now just wait. See it running?
Yeah.
Okay, it's running. And then you turn it to stop it. See that? No mess. You turn it to stop it. You have some. Zoe, do you want?
Yeah. I know how to pour it myself.
You're a cute goblin. Did you know that?
I know.
You're allowed to have messy hair today. Because you can brush it whenever you want to. Yeah, no tangles. Maybe one. Those look like really good nuggets. Somebody did a great job of cooking those.
Cute.
I did?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then, like, I turn it on and I close the fridge and I told Zoe to open it and she can see the camera while it's still recording.
Why are you talking to the world with a mouthful of chicken nugget?
Nah.
You barbarian.